All right. So step 5, how to get it done. Prior to this, in the first session, we looked at setting a vision and mission statement for your company, determining those kind of high level goals. In the second class, we looked at determining where in the field your organization is going to play. Where are you going to focus your efforts based on internal strengths and internal competencies? Where are you going to try to distinguish yourself? Then we tried to come up with a winning strategy for your organization, something that's going to help distinguish you from your peers. In the very last class we had, in step 4, we talked about designing your organization so that you know what skills and talent are going to be required to help you fulfill your initiative and your objective. And now in this class, we're going to look into project management and change management. Project management is critical, but it's only effective if with your new team, where you're trying to have different skills that complement each other, you set kind of clear accountability between team members, clear targets, and also, and I really emphasize this, early wins. It's important for your team to feel like they're on the right track and to have that kind of momentum and affirmation early on in this new project. I can't emphasize early wins enough. And then effective change management. Change management is essentially how do you communicate the change that is happening to everyone in your organization so that you have buy-in, you have a clear understanding of what the new initiative is, but also what the benefit is going to be to the individual employee for engaging in this. So let's get into it. So why is project management key? And I'm just going to say before I even go into this, I did the PMP training through Project Management Institute last year. It was invaluable for me. One of the other instructors here at BlockCEU was a project management instructor through PMI as well. I would highly recommend that someone on your team that is working on this initiative, especially the one who's providing oversight to it, should have some official kind of project management training under their belt. But here are some of the main drivers behind it and why I think it's necessary. One, it defines the project before it begins. The more complex the project, the more scope there is for chaos. And one of project management's primary functions is to kind of tame that chaos by the onset. It maps out a clear plan of the project from beginning to end. And it will help you observe when there's scope creep. It sets an agreed upon schedule between all members. And schedules help eliminate delays or overruns and provide a plan to be followed for all those involved. It does create a framework for collaboration, so it lets people know that they are working on a shared project. It kind of creates a unified vision and objective between team members. It helps ensure resources are best utilized because resources can get very costly throughout a project. Efficient tracking and risk management throughout your project management kind of tool belt will ensure that resources are being used most efficiently and also accounted for. It ensures integration between moving parts because, again, you're scoping out every element, every team that is going to be pulled into this from the onset, especially in corporate social responsibility, where you pull on financial analysts, you pull on your marketing team, you're pulling on your social media team. Integration is key, and knowing how those parts move together is extremely important. It will keep your costs under control, helps you maintain quality, and we talked about this during the competitive advantage slide, and I believe class 3, and especially differential comparators. Quality is extremely important, and building institutional knowledge basically means that your company will have a track record of everything that they had done on this project from the onset to execution, and you'll be able to use that for ongoing learning and for future projects. You're now going to have a roadmap. And lastly, like I said, it creates learning opportunities. You are going to learn a lot, but it's going to help you avoid kind of costly mistakes at the onset. Lastly, change management is going to be critical for executing your project and actually getting that initiative done. Change management, as I mentioned before, is a formal way of communicating with employees. It explains why this change is happening, why this initiative is being undertaken, what that initiative will look like, and what the work will look like, and then ultimately how it proves beneficial not just to the organization but to the employee themselves. By opening this line of communication in your organization, you set a standard. Over time, this will increase the trust your employees have in the firm and the decisions top management is making. Ultimately, I believe people fear the unknown. Having a strategy in place can help to lessen, if not eliminate, that fear. So communicate, communicate, communicate. What do you need to remember about change management? Well, first, I would say successful change initiatives do start at the top. Make sure your CEO is fully invested and he's a champion of this initiative, who creates kind of a burning platform to create a strong sense of urgency within employees. You want to set up a top level team of experts who are reporting directly to the CEO, tasked with developing a focused vision and strategy for change that can then be communicated in no more than 5 minutes. It's simple and it needs to be something that all employees are able to understand. You want to cascade that plan down now through every layer of hierarchy in your organization. You want to mobilize middle management to drive change throughout their organization. You want to make sure employees understand that it's being communicated to them and they grasp their role in implementing this vision and that they are on board. You can essentially win employees over with a change-centric kind of mindset, but that comes through communicating vision and strategy tirelessly and through every available channel. So there's no such thing as too much communication. And then reinforce the change. You want to create kind of accountability by monitoring results. You want to reward and celebrate those who demonstrate desired behaviors, and you want to anticipate and also address any kind of resistance to change from the start. Not all employees are going to be on board with these new corporate social responsibility initiatives. And a lot of people like to stay in their comfort zone. But if you can get them out, you can get them to embrace new ways of doing things, you can help communicate the external value that you're trying to create with this initiative and also how it is going to benefit them, you will get more buy-in, you will silence naysayers, and you're going to remove obstacles to executing this. So let's get into it in this class.